It is apparent that sometimes when situations are challenging, the root cause may lie in what we hold most dear. Our values shape our perception of the world, and if the reality we observe is not aligned with our desires, it is essential to scrutinize our values and let go of existing assumptions. There is a well-known experiment called the invisible gorilla. In this experiment, two teams of players, one dressed in black and the other in white, passed basketballs back and forth. The task for the participants to count the number of times the black team passes the ball. During the video, however, something unexpected happens. A person dressed as a gorilla walks in the middle of the game, stands there, and beats their chest. Surprisingly, about half of the people watching the video fail to notice the gorilla because they are so focused on counting the basketball passes. This experiment highlights how our ambitions and goals can blind us to other aspects of reality. It serves as a compelling validation of certain elements of Buddhist worldview, emphasizing the importance of being mindful and aware of our surroundings and not letting our goals overshadow everything else. Your ambitions have the power to blind you to certain aspects of reality. While they may shed light on some things, they also obscure many others. As individuals, we have limited attention and cannot be aware of everything all the time. However, it's essential to reflect on whether our suffering might be connected to our intense fixation on specific points or goals. Life can be arbitrary, and sometimes suffering occurs when we don't deserve it, as seen in stories like the Book of Job. It's possible that while we cling to the most, even if it's something or someone we deep love, could be causing us the most pain. For instance, in therapy, people often find themselves miserable due to problematic family relationships, where a loved one's actions or behavior may be making their life miserable. In some cases, it becomes necessary to make sacrifices, either by distancing ourselves from certain individuals, establishing healthier boundaries, or even severing ties entirely. Letting go of what we hold dear can be incredibly difficult, but it might be the key to extricating ourselves from chaotic and painful situations. If the world you perceive is not the world you desire, it becomes crucial to examine your values. This introspection is worth considering deeply, otherwise the alternative may lead you to blame fate, attributing the misalignments to external forces like the world itself, other people, or even a higher power such as God. This pattern of thinking can be seen throughout history, including in the stories of the Israelites in the Old Testament. However, a fundamental question arises. Why not simply curse God or fate for the hardships and injustice of life? After all, existence can be arbitrary, and suffering is an inherent part of it. The answer lies in the realization that laying blame externally only exacerbates the situation, making things worse for everyone, including oneself. Instead, taking personal responsibility, even in the face of adversity or seemingly unfair circumstances, is the more productive and meaningful path. While it might be tempting to attribute one's problems to external factors, ultimately taking charge of one's life and choices, regardless of the metaphysical beliefs, leads to a more empowered and constructive way of living. Embracing this sense of responsibility is essential for a fulfilling and purposeful existence. It's time to free yourself from your current assumptions, and this reminds me of a Deadwood concept. There is a comparison with the phoenix, a mythical creature. In the story of Harry Potter, he confronts a dragon, a representation of chaos, and when he's bitten, it's as if he's turned to stone. Such moments of chaos can be lethal or leave you desperately wishing for an end. But then, the phoenix comes to the rescue. The phoenix, every 100 years, burns itself up in flames, reducing to ashes and then emerging anew from an egg. This act of burning off the dead wood allows it to rejuvenate and continue its existence. This phoenix's lesson is relevant to human life as well. Sometimes we need to let go of our accumulated baggage, the deadwood, like a forest fire clearing out the clutter. If we delay this process for too long, it accumulates and suffocates us, leading to a catastrophic event that leaves little chance of recovery. I have witnessed this pattern in many people's lives, where the unresolved chaos and deadwood amass until a critical point, and they burn themselves out, leaving little hope for revival. This archetypical motif is akin to being swallowed by a dragon, residing within its belly, or, metaphorically, descending into hell. Instead of allowing things to escalate to that extent, it's better to engage in regular self-reflection and introspection, embracing a little self-immolation now and then to shed unnecessary baggage. This prevents us from being consumed by chaos, and it's far preferable to total destruction. In conclusion, learning from the Phoenix's wisdom is essential to clear out the deadwood and chaos periodically, taking small doses of medicine regularly rather than waiting for a catastrophic inferno. This way, we can maintain our well-being and vitality without being overwhelmed by chaos and lost in the belly of the dragon.